can't stop the train, baby. Woo!
Greetings, listeners. Welcome to the 45th round of VV Gaming's The Losers Bracket podcast. And we have a ton of news that we're going to share with you today. Things from new game release in WoW Cataclysm to a new contest that's being held in conjunction with MLG and JCPenny, all the way to a really cool charity event that one of our very own members in VV Gaming is going to be throwing very shortly. But first things first, let's get to some MLG news with this huge contest that they are putting on with JCPenny.
MLG and JCPenny have just come out with a new contest where you can win Astro A40s by buying a t-shirt and submitting a picture with you and the t-shirt to either MLG Pro's Twitter or the contest forum thread. The two t-shirts that I've seen so far, I mean, they're pretty cool. One is like an x-ray of a ribcage with a controller that's inside, you know, meaning that you're a gamer at heart, I guess. There's also one where they're green headphones, basic Astro A40s. It's definitely different than any other MLG shirt I've seen.
And if you're an MLG supporter, understand that this is an important move for Major League Gaming because JCPenny, whenever I hear JCPenny, I think of where Middle America shops. I think about where average people shop. My parents go to JCPenny. My sister shops for her children at JCPenny. You know, and that's mainstream America. So I think for Major League Gaming, this is a big opportunity. So if you're going to get Major League Gaming gear, if you're going to give it as a gift this year, this might be the time and the place to buy it because if they get a good run at JCPenny, obviously, that'll open the door to other retailers. Definitely now's the time to buy that. What's the contest, Ryan? There's also a contest associated with this. That's in 2 stages, right?
Yes, there's 2 stages. The first stage is going to be from December 3rd to December 10th. Right after that, the second stage will be December 11th to December 17th.
So as you guys are listening to this, the first stage is ongoing, and then after that, there'll be a second stage. And obviously want to stress creativity. Think about MLG's other sponsors to possibly include in the picture. Think about what JCPenny is, Middle America Gaming. Here's a free picture for you. Get a bunch of wrapped presents. Get yourself, like, empty boxes, wrap them, make it look like you just went Christmas shopping at JCPenny. And you couldn't resist purchasing that shirt. Even though you have 50 boxes in your hand, basically drop it all so you can get that MLG shirt. Have a picture of it being a last shirt on the rack, and then have 2 people fighting over that shirt. Think creatively. Do things that, you know people aren't going to think of. Convey the theme, the product's hot, and you want it.
And make sure you do not Photoshop any of this because MLG will find out with their judging criteria.
Correct. Their judging criteria are pretty strict that they do not want you to Photoshop anything. So take a real picture. Obviously, you can stage the picture. Just don't adjust it. I think everybody knows, you zoom in on the picture, and to be honest, it's pretty impossible to forge it that well, so don't even bother. I think there are a ton of creative things you can do. You don't need Photoshop.
Definitely. And nowhere in the criteria for this does it say that you can only submit 1 photo. So feel free to be as creative as you want to be, as many times as you would like to be. Take as many pictures as you can, submit them. The best entries, as chosen by MLG, will win 1 MLG Edition Astro A40 audio system. So definitely go out, take some pictures, send it to their Twitter at MLG with the # JCP in the same tweet. Or you can also go over to their contest forum and leave the picture in their thread as well. 2 ways to enter, 2 times to win. Have at it, guys.
All right. That's enough about that because unless you're giving away SteelSeries gear, I'm less impressed. But if you're giving away money, on the other hand, then you can come talk to me, which Major League Gaming is doing if you're playing Black Ops on the PlayStation 3, $25,000 tournament. Think about that split between 4 people. To all you naysayers out there, if you're good, you should be on the PlayStation 3 playing in this tournament. Ryan, what do we got?
Well, right now there's only 173 ranked teams, so that means those are the only people that are going to be ranked enough or at all to be the top 128 teams for this playoff bracket portion of the tournament. And right now in the lead we do have Synergy, which was, I believe, a top team in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
What's Synergy's record?
38-2.
38-2. And how long does this go until?
Online ladder portion of this tournament goes until January 16th. So you guys have a little over a month.
January 16th. So, yeah, players have plenty of time. And then what happens after that? They go into a bracket, a double elimination bracket or single elimination bracket? What do they have after that?
After that, there we have a double elimination bracket portion, which starts January 24th and ends February 23rd.
How many teams are going to advance?
128 teams will reach the playoffs.
Wow, so that's a huge bracket.
It's not small.
And how many teams are ranked right now?
173.
So 50 teams won't make it if we were to do it tomorrow. So that means there's a lot of opportunity for people to get out there, get a PlayStation 3, and hop onto this tournament. So it's far from over.
Oh, yes. Very far from over. Especially because in the top page, the 25th ranked team is only 7-1.
So there's a lot of teams that probably have only played a few matches.
Correct. It gives everyone an opportunity to come and catch up real quick, because I know a lot of teams that can play 8 matches in a night, so just remember that.
I think part of their challenge is going to find other people who want to play. That's always a problem with ladders when they're set up like that. But at the end of the day, if I were to guess, next year, Pro Circuit, PlayStation 3, if you're going to play Black Ops for money next season, it's Christmas time, get a PlayStation 3. It seems to me that's where all the action's going to be.
Speaking of action, WCG news. This weekend we've got the Holiday Heroes event that's coming up, and there's going to be a Halo Reach tournament and a Tron Evolution tournament, same game that was on WCG Ultimate Gamer Season 2's finale. So there's a ton of prizes to be won this weekend. If you're in the New York area, I would definitely check it out. First place in Halo Reach is going to win $4,000 for their team, as well as 4 Astro A30s. Second place is going to win 4 Samsung Netbook computers. Third, 4 Samsung monitors. Currently, right now, there are only 9 active teams registered. So if you live in the area and play Halo Reach, this is a great opportunity. I would definitely head down to the Samsung Experience and check this tournament out.
Adam, I hear that you are helping create some of these settings for the WCG tournament. Tell us how that's going.
Basically, creating the game types have officially ended. There will be one map from the new double map pack called Anchor 9. It looks like it's going to run pretty well for the tournament. I'm pretty excited to see how tournament play it works out with the teams there. And also with all the game types, the settings have been changed a little bit, as there's not going to be any armor abilities on the map or in the loadouts. It's going to be DMR and I think needle rifle loadouts. And also, it's going back to 120 speed as in it was in MLG V1 settings.
So pretty much a little bit of both worlds of V2 and V1.
Basically, if I had a choice on MLG V3, these would be the settings.
A game I love to hate, World of Warcraft. Cataclysm is out. A lot of people have asked me, are you starting a VVV guild? The answer to that question is no. Some of our community members who were hooked on that shitty smack a long time ago still want to play it. And obviously, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, although there's nothing I still can't figure out for the life of me why anybody plays WoW. And I'm an MMO fan. It's probably because it's your first MMO and you have nothing else to compare it to. And it's sort of that nostalgia, I'm guessing. But, yeah, I think Martini and Roar from our StarCraft division and some of our community members are into Cataclysm. Even though it makes my skin crawl, I want to wish them good luck, enjoy it. I'm sure we'll hear a lot about what has changed inside Cataclysm. I know we covered the lore last week, so I don't think there's much more to be said about it. If you're playing Cataclysm, enjoy. Just don't tell me about it. I don't want to hear it.
I did hear Roar was making a Worgen named Bruce Flea.
But All right, enough about WoW. Let's talk about another MMO. Blazik, Doomhammer, Addiction, myself, looking over Doomhammer's shoulder mostly, were able to take part in a closed beta event for the new MMO coming out called Rift. For those of you that know much about MMOs, one a really unique thing about Rift is it offers what's called a dynamic encounter system, which means events pop up in the world, and when you interact with these events, they change the world around you, not just for you, but for everyone. Also, the character classes, there are so many different combinations of classes. It seems to me it's one of these easy games to play, but a lifetime to master. I would position Rift somewhere between Warhammer Online and Guild Wars. I think Rift has done a good job of making sure that, much like VV Gaming does, it really rewards the people that are active on its social media. They were giving away VIP codes on their Twitter or their Facebook, and if you weren't following them, you weren't there at the right time, you're not an active Twitter or Facebook user, you were going to miss out on those VIP codes. In my humble opinion, Tryon in that regards and building a community is doing an excellent job. A new developer, but although a new developer, the team at Tryon has a lot of experience. Expect another closed beta event to come up. There are 2 factions in Rift. This first event was with the Defiant faction, I guess the darker of the 2, and we expect the next closed beta event to deal with the Guardians, which are more of the religious lighty side. So if you are looking for a new MMO, and we all know that Terra is quite a ways off, I definitely would explore Rift. Our very own VV Smokyprogg will be holding an event where he's going to be donating all the proceeds to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Fund, which is an organization dedicated to combating 2 very, very deadly forms of cancer. Jason, you want to fill us in on the details?
Definitely. First things first, guys. This is a great cause that Smokyprogg has done. This is his 3rd time now that he's done this. And what he calls this event is Guitar Hero Hell. What this event is he stays up as long as he can with the latest iteration of Guitar Hero and plays the whole thing through until he can FC 100% as many songs as he can before he physically cannot play anymore. In the past, he's played for 2 days straight. This year, there's going to be a new stipulation added to Guitar Hero Hell, and that's that it's going to be a competition. Smokyprogg is going to be joined by VV applicant El Scarecrow, currently ranked number 2 on the Score Hero leaderboards in Guitar Hero 5, and the 2 of them will be facing off against each other to see who can get more 100% FCs than the other person. Should be real fun. The 2 have some amazing banter between the 2 of them when they're in the same room. The whole event is going to be streamed online. There's going to be giveaways. There's going to be fun conversations with people currently watching the stream at any one given moment. Definitely want you guys to check in. There's going to be ways to donate right from our site to this amazing event. If you or anybody you love has ever been affected by leukemia or lymphoma, please, please donate. Even if they haven't, please donate. These are horrible diseases that are out there, and this is a great cause. It's amazing when someone can take something as awesome as gaming and put it together with a cause like this. I commend Smokyprogg for doing this yearly, and I'm really looking forward to spending some time watching Guitar Hero Hell 3.
So all of you out there, mark your calendar, December 17th. December 17th is when it begins, and I've talked to Smokyprogg about it, and Robert has said that he expects this year to be able to last longer because obviously he's going to be in a competition. It gives him a little bit time to rest. There are going to be giveaways approximately 1 every 3 hours. We're expecting products from VV Gaming, MusicSkins.com, Control Freak Steel Series, and there may be a few surprises thrown in there. We will cover this much more in detail on next week's show. We'll have Smokyprogg on, provided that he can get to the internet on Tuesday evening. But we definitely want all of you, December 17th, mark your calendar. This is a season of giving, and VV Smokyprogg will be doing just that, setting the standard as he always has done for charitable giving and, to be honest, being very entertaining. And with El Scarecrow in the mix this year, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I look forward to it. And you can guarantee 100% I'll be donating. I want to get to the Steel Series contest. We said last week on the show that we were going to announce the winner. But to be honest, I have not gotten enough links in our forums. If you have written a review for a Steel Series product on Amazon.com or Newegg.com, please post your review in the thread on our forums. That is important because we're going to take those reviews, show them to SteelSeries so we can get credit for them. So we're extending it by 1 week. We'll announce the winner on next week's show. So if you hear this, please make sure that you post in that thread your SteelSeries reviews. To our sponsor teams, I cannot stress enough, if you've gotten SteelSeries gear, you had best partake in this review process. That's not a request either. I'm not asking. So chop, chop, get to it. So that's my public service announcement for the SteelSeries Newegg Amazon.com review contest. Get to it.
Here at VV Gaming, we have just launched the Control Freak Christmas, and this holiday season, we're recommending that if you want to pick up one of our sponsors' products as a gift for any gamer that you do know, make it some Control Freaks. FPS Freaks for their FPS gaming needs, TD Freaks for their sports gaming needs, and of course you also have the Speed Freaks for any racing game fan. Control Freaks will make a very economical gift for any gamer in your family. And also, in addition to this, if you do purchase some Control Freaks this holiday season, VV Game has got a couple cool things that they're going to be doing for you, including drawings for amazing prizes. And we've also got the Show Us Your Freak video contest where you have even more opportunities to win prizes. So check it out. Head on over to the VV Gaming forums and you can learn all about the Control Freak Christmas.
What we did this year, which is going to be a little bit different from last year, is we're focusing on certain sponsors over the course of the holiday season. Right now, we wanted to kick it off with our Control Freak Christmas, as Jason mentioned. On the thread, you will see a lot of our top players comment who have used these. I know that a lot of people often say, you know what, why should I purchase these? Do they really work? Trust me, they're an inexpensive gift, as Jason mentioned. They are great stocking stuffers for any gamer friends of yours. So this is something that if you're on the fence whether or not to get them, look at that thread, look at some of the testimonials. I highly recommend it. You're going to see a couple of our Madden applicants comment about them, Blazik, some of our Call of Duty 4 community. Don't be shy. Take advantage of this. And to add to this, during Smokyprogg's charity event, any proceeds from purchases made during the event will go directly to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Fund. So this is the season to put Control Freaks on your list. More is going to come out. There'll be more stuff upcoming this month from SteelSeries and our other sponsors. But for now, I encourage all of you to listen to this. Go ahead, get yourself some freaks, make it a freaky Christmas. God, you know what? It's hard to say that.
Go freak yourself.
Go freak you.
All right, guys.
I don't think I can live with that.
It's too nerdy?
I don't think I can live with that at all, actually. That's like, wow.
That's too freaking bad.
That was horrible. Wow.
You know what? At least we're not watching Ryan get his freak on.
Stop. You're
Super
hurting.
freak.
This is freaking ridiculous, dude.
Absolutely. You know what was freaking ridiculous? I'll tell you what was freaking ridiculous. Boss Nasty. Now, I know we talked about it a little bit at the end of last episode, but I just want everybody out there, I appreciate all the comments. We got a lot of feedback about our Boss Nasty interview, and I want to thank a lot of you for your comments, both on private messages and inside that thread. I was in a Call of Duty room the other day, and somebody said to me, you know, Lord Jareth, I expected you were going to go off on him. Why didn't you? And I thought, well, you know, the honest answer to that is it's not a good practice to go off on your guests, no matter how ridiculous they are. I always think it shows maturity to show restraint, even if a guest is as ridiculous as Boss Nasty. But I was happy, some of the Twitter comments and a lot of stuff. So hopefully what we have done is given Boss Nasty something to think about, although I wasn't convinced he's the kind of person who was going to take much advice. More importantly, though, we get the word out there, and hopefully people will be skeptical of anyone who comes along and says that they can be a coach. Always ask for people's resume, ask for their accomplishments, and ask for proof, links. Remember, everyone, talk is cheap. Anybody can say they placed something at an event or they've done this. Make them prove it to you. With VV Gaming, that's why we take tons of pictures. Anything that we say we've done, you can go to our gallery and you can see the pictures of the people who were there. We always have links to the results. Make people prove it to you. There are far too many players out there who, to be honest, just don't represent their record very accurately. And you always have to be on the guard with that, whether it's a player or a coach. All right, everybody, this episode of the Losers Bracket, we would like to introduce a new segment. We're going to take our traditional online community spotlight, and we're going to bring it to the Losers Bracket. And our very first community spotlight is with our very own VVV Jolly, Matthew Cronin. Matthew, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Well, the first thing I want to say is I want to thank you again, because you were probably the best host I've ever experienced in the history of all the events I've been to. And I have had some good hosts, but your hospitality at MLGDC was fantastic, so thank you.
No problem. I kept my pants on most of the time, so it went pretty well.
That was pretty good. So do me a favor. Tell everybody, first off, about your gaming background and how you finally got hooked up with VV Gaming.
Oh, wow. I got started back in, I believe it was 97 or 98 with Quake 1. And I was injured. I used to play football, and I'm a competitive son of a bitch, so I started playing Quake 1, and I decided I wanted to be the best at it. So I kept playing on an old service called MPlayer. Got real into the whole clan and community aspect of it. Really, really enjoyed that. They had a PGL back then, so I played for Clan MPlayer on the Professional Gamers League. Back then, the prizes were like, I think, Ferrari for first place. It was like the programmer's own car, and it was in its fledgling state. It was brand new, but the competitive gaming was just, I fell in love with it. I was playing around the clock day and night, and that just continued on when I got to college with Counter-Strike, and then all of a sudden I started drinking too much to really see my computer screen, and there was women, and women, all they did was distract me from playing video games, but, you know, I love it. I found VVV about a year and a half ago, and it instantly, I knew after dozens of clans and online organizations that I'd finally found a place that was going to be there no matter what happened with the games, what happened in my life. If I was on every day, I wasn't going to get kicked out of the community. It's just great. It's great to have a place that no matter where you are as a gamer, you can always come back to and have the same old friends.
Thanks. I say all roads eventually lead back to VVV, even if you go away for a while. And you, sir, are not one of those people who's gone away. Tell everybody a little bit about sort of the basics. Tell them about where you live, what you do there, you know, what kind of a day in the life of VV Jolly is like.
Well, I live in Washington, D.C. Just turned 29 about a month ago. I started a business with some friends about 2 years ago. It's a couple nightclubs, and I'm real active in nightlife and the whole party scene, and it's a lot more work than I originally thought it was going to be. It's a lot of politics, a lot of meetings. We have about 120 employees active under us, and we're one of the top nightclubs in the city, so I've been blessed to be surrounded by a lot of good people and make a lot of good friends. It's a lot of stress. You know, as I got older, before video games were all about the competition for me, you know, the fighting it out, the edge. Now it's a release for me. I mean, I go to work all day. It's just a lot of stress, work long, sometimes 16, 17-hour days, come back, and to be able to hop online and focus on one single problem that's in front of you with a group of people and play together is a huge, huge stress reliever for me. And it's my recreation. It's my hobby, my recreation, my free time all wrapped into one. It's great. Other than that, I drink and fuck too much. Can I say that? I did.
You did. You're okay with that. Nothing wrong with that as long as you play safe.
Well, I tried to.
Yeah, well, you're still standing there. I will warn you that about your mid-30s, you'll go through this George Carlin always said it's kind of like this balancing act, and when the bad finally outweighs the good, you know, you need to cut back. You know, it happens. So I guess enjoy it while you can. Isn't that, I think that's the saying. I think I have the body and the liver of like a 70-year-old old prize fighter, so it's starting to catch up to me. So I probably need to slow down a little bit. So tell everybody a little bit about what games you have played most recently, what you liked about them, and if there's anything you're looking forward to. Obviously, Ion. And I guess that sounds like it wasn't that recent, but for us MMO players, Jesus Christ, we're going through a drought. We haven't had much to play in a while. But Ion was, I would say, out of all of my video game experiences,
the highlight. And the reason was there was so much excitement, so much buzz, such a huge group ready to go that it made the leveling process so exciting. Everyone was competing against each other, sharing knowledge, and I was meeting people every day and spending hours and hours like working with everyone. It was one of the most rewarding video game experiences I've ever had. It was truly, truly remarkable to watch how 100 people just came together and formed these different groups and were working together and banding together and sharing everything. And to see that kind of cooperation online between people that had never met before and that kind of friendship that developed, I've never seen anything like it. And, you know, in 15 years of gaming, it was really special. And unfortunately, the game didn't really live up to the hype, kind of bored us after a while. Really waiting on Terra. Been playing a lot of Black Ops lately just to play with all the fun guys and, you know, for quick shits and giggles, if you will. And it's fun just, you know, joking around, because especially fun because I'm so goddamn terrible at Black Ops. I mean, I'm better than Perilous, but I am terrible compared to most players. And I've just been learning slowly but surely. But it's just been fun, man. We just hop on and just dick around, and you know, it's been cool to meet all the console gamers. I've known all the PC side, but to really get a chance to meet the console gamers has been really, really neat. I've heard such nightmares about them, but they have matured so much, I would say, over the last year or two. It's been amazing to watch them really come along.
Yeah, you know, that's an interesting observation. I know that we had certain members of the VV community who always seemed to complain about one person or another, and, you know, we made a few strong decisions and we allowed some people to leave, or, you know, we could just say they left. That's how we wanted it to be viewed. And it seems like things have really quieted down.
It's quieted down, but in a good way. I mean, whenever we have controversial subject matter that comes up in the forums, I've really noticed measured, mature responses, almost professional responses. I think that's the best word to describe it, is professional responses from kids that are, I don't want to call them kids or, you know, downplay their significance, but 16, 17, 18, when I was their age, I was still in diapers. You know, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But these guys really are showing a lot of maturity, and I've been really, compared to a year ago or 2 years ago, stunned by the community's growth as far as like a professional organization. It's really, really been a treat to watch everybody kind of mature together and get to know each other and treat each other not only as friends, but at times you see that coworker mentality going on between all the different players, and that's been really neat to watch.
Tell everybody a little bit about your experience when MLG arrived into DC. What are some of the highlights? What did you learn? I mean, that was your first MLG event. What are some of the things you learned, or what were your initial impressions? What did you notice? Sort of walk us through your experience as somebody who has never really been to a major gaming event before.
Well, when I got there, what first really I was struck by was how focused all the players were. I mean, there wasn't an air of, I guess, festivity that I was expecting. It was, everybody was there and they were focused. I mean, these people were going to their matches. They were observing. There really wasn't any like general merriment or frivolity or fun going on around there. And I was kind of taken aback by that, because I know MLG is a professional video game format, but at some point, like if you go to any other professional sporting event I've ever been to, there's lots of fanfare. There's cheerleaders, there's side events, there's booths, there's giveaways, there's bars, there's all kinds of stuff to kind of make it a full experience. And I kind of felt like it was just a slightly prettier LAN party, to be honest with you. As a businessman, particularly in the entertainment business, I saw a lot of opportunity to capitalize that I think is being missed out on. And I really, really wanted to see more free-to-play, more goofy contests. The Guitar Hero, I mean, watching some of the best players in the world play Guitar Hero on a tiny little TV is an insult to them for even being there. They were blessing that place. Put them up on a big screen. Let people have a chance to watch them go back and forth. Put them over a dunk tank. I don't know, something fun, but like come up with something crazy, you know? Like let's make it a little bit more fun. Put two rooms together. Have a DJ in one room. Have where you have the free-to-play area with all the crazy games. Get some massive GoldenEye and Mario Kart tournaments, something. I mean, I don't know. I just felt like everybody was there wandering around, going to their events, but show some spirit and some energy. And the only spirit and energy I saw, shameless plug, VVV was going nuts at the different events, cheering on everybody, screaming and yelling, laughing. I think Jason was praying during a couple matches. He found religion during some Smash Brothers. I mean, that's where the energy was, but that was it. Other than that, it was pretty low key, and I think there's a good foundation there, but there's a lot more that could be done with that. And saving the main stage only for Halo, I mean, give everybody a shot to get up on the main stage for different games. Give everybody a chance to spectate on the main stage their favorite events. I mean, it just felt like the format is there, but there's so much that could be improved upon it to make it just a fun event for everybody just to go nuts. And everybody's personalities, when we did our event that night, everybody's personalities came shining through. I mean, I can't explain to you. That night was so special and fun, just shooting the shit, joking around with everybody, having some drinks. That's when everybody really kind of gets a chance to like bond and come together. And why not do that at the actual event? You know, why do we have to throw our own event just to have that kind of opportunity? Like, set that up yourself, MLG. Like, bring something to the table for the people that are the fans. You gotta, I guess that's the biggest thing is if you're a fan like myself, give me a reason why I want to travel halfway across the country to come see your event. There's got to be a little bit more in it than for me to watch a couple people.
I think what you said there, you know, one of the things that I'm really grateful for is that Sundance reached out to us, and from our conversations, I feel that they're listening, which is a huge change in the 3 years that, you know, I have been basically quietly throwing stones at their house for quite some time, and finally someone's come out of the house to talk to me and say, why are you throwing stones all the time? And in the course of that conversation, I think we've gained a mutual respect for one another. And I think a lot of what you said, one, having a main stage for everyone, two, doing more for the spectators, those are very high on their list. Definitely listening to the community. I mean, when MLG Clap was on, Adam had made it clear that, you know, there was a time when they were good at listening to the community. And I know they want to maintain a professional, serious attitude, but I think you're right. I think that there is one great lesson to be learned from professional sports, and that is that even though that there is a space, a part of the arena where the professional part goes on, there needs to be a space that surrounds that. That's where all the fun happens, the tailgating, in this case, the DJ hero, the guitar hero, the rock band, you know, doing things, dance games, you know, do something that is fun and gets, you know, you gotta get more people that are casual gamers involved and make them fans.
I couldn't agree more. But like I said, I mean, I brought a bunch of girls out, and all of them have played video games. They've never been involved in the professional community, but they were really genuinely interested, and as bringing fresh faces in to observe what it is, and for them just to sit there and be like, they were so into it. They were in all those pictures. They're captivated by what's going on. And I think that says there is a potential to bring in a fan base, people that aren't necessarily pro gamers that would still love to go to these events. If we could just maybe make the fans, you know, and again, it all goes back to also marketing. I didn't see anything about MLG coming to town in DC. I went to GameStops. People were just like, they had no idea that MLG was even coming to town, you know? So it's, again, how are they reaching out to new faces and young blood?
I think that's part of the challenge, you know, also is that a lot of it comes with experience. You know, what I think is interesting and what I've always thought about this, why we built it, always thinking about the community. I mean, community is a really fancy word for fans, you know, or people that enjoy the experience of gaming. You're right. I mean, one thing that MLG probably at times hasn't had time, to be fair to them, you know, really hasn't had time, because they are a startup, is really thinking through what kind of experience you have for, you know, sort of everyone else. And when you look at gaming demographics, you know, there's a significant female population that games, and even middle-aged women, their husbands will game, and even in the workforce, I'll get people who ask me, you know, what games should I buy my kids? Or, you know, I've got a 9-year-old daughter, what should I get her? You know, and I'm at some level, maybe I'm recommending Epic Mickey for the Wii. She can't stand the fact that her husband plays Black Ops. She hates the sound of gunfire.
Her husband plays Leisure Suit Larry.
And I think to myself, we have to create a space for the mom who doesn't want to hear gunfighting, but would love to watch Guitar Hero or would love to, DJ Hero or Rock Band. We've got to capture that audience.
I agree. 100%. There's a huge audience out there that just doesn't know where to go.
So tell me a little bit about what you experienced with some of the people in VVV. Who were the highlights? What people stood out to you? I know Kraft Dinner, you'd met, I guess, would have been the first VVV person. Is that right?
Yes. Kraft and I met up a night before I met up with everyone else. He flew into town early. We had a hotel room. We went out and hung out and partied. And Kraft is very much, I would have to say, he's a personality. you know that from online. He is in your face, over the top, a personality. He's hilarious and he's fun, but he has a passion for gaming, a true passion for gaming. He takes it very seriously and he cares about VVV, and I think that shone through clearly at the event. He flew from, all the way across the country from this magical land that I've never even heard of called Canada. I don't even know where that is. He came all the way over. And he went nuts. I mean, he was a true, loyal VVV fan and member and helping out in every way he could. And he did an amazing job representing. Obviously, I've met Ryan before. He's come up to D.C. Perilous, for those of you who don't know. Honestly, amazing guy. Truly, I can't say enough good things about him as a genuine person. And then you have Jason. Jason is everything I dreamed he would be and more. One day, I think we're going to move into a small one-bedroom apartment in Soho and maybe adopt a small Asian child. On top of that, meeting Jerry and meeting Doom and Sean and all the faces that I've spent, I don't even want to guess how many hours online with, hundreds of hours. It was awesome. And then I met a lot of people from different communities, Cheese, all the members who play Halo, getting to meet Nick and Ashley and all those guys together. I can't say enough. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I met a million people there, and it was incredible. And the one common thread everybody had was they were genuine, good people. I mean, I don't know if I can let that resound enough with everybody. Is that the common thread with the long-term members in VVV is they are all just good, honest, caring people. And it is so rare and so hard to find that in your day-to-day life that when you can find an online community that has so many of these people just mashed in together, just waiting to welcome you, I mean, it's really, really unheard of. I mean, I've been in a lot of different businesses, organizations, clubs, groups, teams in my life, and I've never met a group of people I just felt as comfortable just being myself and shooting the shit and being goofy and being stupid. That's what keeps people coming back, is the quality of people that are on this website. And to meet them all face to face, it was unbelievable. I'd been dreaming of that for a year and a half. So I definitely am going to make another MLG event. Hopefully we can get another big fun event together, as far as just strictly for VVVs in the future. I'm trying to get as involved in this community as possible because even with my limited time, I can't get away from these people. They're like crack.
No matter how far you go, they always pull you back in. That's what they do. They pull you back in.
Yeah.
I want to thank you, Matt, for coming on the show and telling us a little bit about yourself. And would you be open to making a lot more guest appearances on the Losers Bracket?
I'd love to. I was doing a little research. I wanted to do a whole spiel on how God is going to hate you and send you straight to hell if you play WoW Cataclysm. But I mean, if people want to play a game with, a flying ferret with some wings running around killing all the WoW people, then, go ahead. But that, I had a whole bunch I wanted to say. But next week, I'll get right into it. I promise. I'll be ready to go.
I love this man.
It's come to that sad point in the show where we must bid adieu to all of our fair listeners. It is the end of round 45 of the Losers Bracket, and yet again, we would like to thank you for listening to our show. Thanks to the VVV sponsors, SteelSeries, Control Freak, MusicSkins.com, GamerLogos.net, and Custom Ink. We love you guys for your feedback and support. Keep it rolling. Be sure to stop by our podcast homepage at vvgaming.podbean.com. Also, feel free to subscribe to us on iTunes or Zune Marketplace. Just look up VVV Gaming. You can find both our shows there, this one that you're listening to right now, The Loser Bracket, as well as our Smash podcast, Directional Influence. If you have any feedback for us that you want us to read directly or have any ideas for the show, you can feel free to email us at thelosersbracket@vvv-gaming.com. You can also follow us over on Twitter. There we're simply known as Losers Bracket.
Goodbye, everybody.
Jason, your last name makes me laugh.
Lion!